Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Speed Gaming and the 2021 The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. My name is Phantom Ryu, joined today by Lumaga. Lumaga, why don't you give our audience a little preview about what they're about to see here tonight?
Absolutely, thank you for that. So we've got a game one between mooglecharm and Alaszun, our 2 and 3rd quartile representatives here in this match. And I took a look. I don't see, maybe there's one, but I don't think I see a closer match in how these two did in qualifiers. They are incredibly close, very, very skilled, and I think this is both of their first appearance in the main tournament. So I'm looking forward to see what these two can do tonight.
Absolutely. And remember, for those of you who are familiar with the randomizer, but this might be your first opportunity to turn into this year's tournament, we are running a different rule set than you may have normally seen before. This is the hard standard preset. Basically, you are going to be limited to the convenience items and quality of life items that you would have in a No Major Glitches NMG run. So our runners will be maxed out at 14 hearts. We will not see any mail upgrades. We will not see the butter sword. We will not see silver arrows. So making it a little bit more difficult, a little more challenging this year, but certainly going to make it a little bit more exciting.
Well, you say more difficult than more challenging, but you wouldn't know it looking at all the runners in this tournament. All of them have certainly earned their right to be here, and we'll have no problem pulling everything out of their hat.
Absolutely. We are off here. We get 100 rupees in Link's house. What do you think the guaranteed item is going to be here, Lumaga?
You know, I'm hoping it's something quite valuable like a bow or a hammer. Those are really good offensive weapons. I did see a quick map check here from mooglecharm with a 5-6 on both Desert and Hera and a normal crystal on Eastern. So
Yeah.
2 in the light world today.
Yeah, very interesting. Don't get that very often. Means that there's going to be 3 Dark World dungeons that we possibly may not even have to walk into. Certainly does bode well for a quick time here, and that's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
Indeed.
First, hey, I was destined to commentate this race.
You know, Kane of Samaria start for standard is not too bad. It just all comes down to magic management. It does use, considerable amount of magic as you use it, and you're going to need every bit of this to get through the few enemies you must kill, including a key rat near the end of the escape sequence.
Yes, and you can pick up the block and throw it, which is nice too. And as you saw already, when you destroy it, it sends out projectiles in 4 different directions, making this a little bit more versatile, as you said, than say getting the Cane of Burna, where you have to walk into the enemies. As the chat pointed out, the guards are the rupee prize pack, which means our runners are not going to be able to get bombs from them. We got a moon pearl already. Wow.
Yeah, great to get that out of the way. It's not in an awkward location, and that is one step into Dark World. Of course, you'll need 3 items, either 2 mitts in that Moon Pearl or Moon Pearl glove and a hammer. So we're getting there.
We are. So one thing, as you mentioned, looks like our runners are going to have to kill the 1 rat just to get the key, but if they want bombs here in Escape, they are likely going to have to kill those rats due to the fact that they're not going to get any bombs from the guards.
Yeah, we see the prize pack here. Looks like a green rupee is dropped, so certainly not a bomb pack. And there are 2 packs available in the escape sequence. One only off the rats, and one with the ropes or snakes shared with the green guard. So have to see what that other pack is.
And that is one thing that the randomizer does also randomize is what items enemies will drop. That's what we're referring to as the prize packs. There is a predetermined list of what a particular enemy can drop. If you see a green rupee from any enemy, that enemy cannot drop bombs. However, our runner's finding 3 bombs next to Zelda, and Alaszun is forgetting to get Zelda. Oh my gosh.
Oh, gotta go back. Don't leave her. Nope.
Oh man. How long is he going?
This
Oh
is,
no.
this is just muscle memory. You hit the
Mhm.
chest and you start heading out of the escape. They'll realize it, I hope, sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, if you've been playing Rando for long enough and you haven't left Zelda in her cell, I think I got a bridge in Brooklyn I can sell to you too.
Oh, turning around. Yep, there he goes. Turning around,
Yeah.
realizes he left something important back there. And she's not going to be happy about being left behind.
No, not at all. Well, that is certainly going to cost Alaszun some time. Not an insurmountable amount of time. A good decision or good routing later on in the seed will certainly remedy this time difference.
Yeah, I know that the big meme might be, oh, first person out of escape has the lead, but there are so many things that can go on here, from lucking into an item or kind of reading.
Whoa,
Wait,
Alaszun. There was some muscle memory there going back in to the blue guard room that has the key in the treasure chest, but
Yes.
Wow. Now look, I will say, and I speak, speaking from experience here, that when you get into a tournament, a highly competitive situation like this, it is completely unpredictable what nerves will do to you. And I got to think that's what happened. It's the combination, like you said, Lumaga, of the muscle memory plus the nerves. Not good.
Yeah, at this point you're on a bigger stage maybe than you've been on before, and it's unfortunate this Alaszun is making this mistake here, but you're right. The nerves can get to you. You start to realize here you can't open this up without the princess. You got to go back, please.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, and mooglecharm getting the power glove in escape. Now that has some interesting implications for logic, does it not?
Well, a little bit. You can take that right away and maybe sequence break up the mountain, do the dark old man room, and get maybe an item up there in Spectacle Rock. Trying to think of some other locations that might be open. I suppose it opens Zora, but we don't have nearly enough money for that.
Correct. So Alaszun heading back down, taking the long walk back to Zelda's cell. So mooglecharm here, going to head over to Kakariko Village. We will see if mooglecharm decides to check the item on Lumberjack or not.
He's
Not to.
Going straight to Lost Woods, and I would expect maybe a runner who didn't find any bombs or is out of bombs by the time they leave escape to go do the tree pull up on their way to Lumberjack, maybe check the bush crab, and one of those may have some bombs. At that point, you may as well check Lumberjack, but he's just going for it.
Picking up that 20 rupees, because as you noted, we don't have nearly enough money for Zora at this point, but you do want to pick up as much as you can. And oh no, Alaszun takes a death at the ball and chain guard. They're gonna have to go back and get Zelda again, aren't they? Okay, starts off right there. Whew.
I was not aware that was a spawn point, but fortunate for Alaszun.
I was not either. I have learned something today.
All right, plenty of checks for mooglecharm here in Kakariko Village. Has enough bombs, just enough bombs, to get all of them from Blind's Hut, Well, and the Chicken Hut.
3 bombs, the perfect number here. What you mentioned, we'll want to pick up at least one more, because odds are mooglecharm will go and take care of the South Shore, needing a bomb to get into Mini Moldorm Cave and a bomb to get into Ice Rod Cave. But we'll see how this this goes from here.
There's one more he may need. He may need one more bomb to get into the Dueling Brothers and go to the Mace Rays.
Absolutely. Good catch. So mooglecharm does find the Archer class there in Blind's Hut. Runners at this level, all they need is the bow to complete Eastern. So it's entirely possible mooglecharm may forego the South Shore, go straight to Eastern to knock a crystal dungeon out of the way. And there's a sword, making it even more likely.
Yeah, that sword will help you navigate maybe through a dark room or so. The flute also adds a little bit of intrigue to this.
And
Mitts
Mitts.
too. I would not be surprised with Mitts and Moonpearl checking out a few Dark World locations right here, maybe in Village of Outcast.
I would be tempted to go ahead and hit Thieves Town at this point, because there's a decent chance that you don't even need the mirror, because he can just walk straight up here, hit the Dark World portal, and hit Thieves Town. Very, very loaded Kakariko Village.
And we're not even done yet.
That's right. But one thing I will say, though, is that when you play this game and you get Mitts this early, plus the Moon Pearl, there's so much open to you that it's almost a paralyzing decision of where do I go next.
So Alaszun lost track of what the key route was. Got to watch his magic, because otherwise he's got to use his bombs as a backup. Did end up finding it, and he's going to grab his power glove out of the secret room and escape.
You hate to see that kind of thing happen, and I'm sure Alaszun does as well. Obviously, we can talk about how much it stinks, but we're not the person having to go through it. But again, not insurmountable, but will require a significant routing divergence to catch up to mooglecharm, because as you mentioned earlier, the manga, these runners very, very evenly matched.
Yeah, with Alaszun's situation, you may want to take more gambles. You know, if you find some progression, just follow it till the end. Maybe you skip a chest in some certain dungeons, just to gain a little bit of that time back piece by piece.
Did you catch what item was on the library?
If I'm not mistaken, it was the bug nut, but it's very possible I'm mistaken.
Chat says bug nut, and they're usually right. So,
yeah, not only chat, that is our tracker, Link40. So, shout out to our tracker, keeping us on task here,
and keeping us honest most of the time. So mooglecharm hitting up the dam here. I imagine they will head straight to Mini Moldorm Cave after this, and then with the Mitts and the Moon Pearl, lots of places open to you. But given the routing so far, I have to imagine the mooglecharm's going to head to Eastern Palace after checking.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty safe route. And since it's a safe route, if you're Alaszun, you may want to consider, like I mentioned, doing some risks. Either maybe you go check Agana first, because you suspect your opponent won't do that quickly. Maybe you skip Ice Rod because you think your opponent might do it.
Well, Alaszun about to give us some intel about what item is on Lumberjacks here. It is just 3 blueberries, so Aghanim not going to be required for any reason now.
Oh, there's always the chance that Hammer is somehow logically locked by Aghanim on the east side of Dark World. Well, now we got flippers and boots.
Flippers.
Yeah. So it's okay. So very generous early game. We had a loaded Kakariko. We got some fine weaponry and some nice utility items. Dark World access to boot.
Yeah, as the chat pointed out, many times when you have a generous seed this early, it foretells an ice rod hunt or something of that nature later on in the seed. We shall see.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be something here that's hiding, and both runners may pass it right by at some point.
mooglecharm setting up for the water walk here. even missed the jump off spot there, but does get the water walk. That is the tolerance for that is so good. Even me with my awful execution have never failed it.
So here's following some progression, doing some sequence breaking. Alaszun up on the mountain, saving the old man for an ether medallion.
That could become very important later. But as of this moment, the only thing Alaszun can check up on the mountain right now is the item in Spectacle Rock Cave. They'll be able to see what's on top of Spectacle Rock Cave, but will be unable to get it unless, of course, we luck out and the item in the cave is the mirror. Just 10 arrows on top of the cave and bombs inside. The mountain is a bust, but let's see what mooglecharm finds in Waterfall Fairy.
Not too much here, but follow this all the way to Zora. You've got the money, you've got the flippers if you need to get that item on the ledge as well. And this will be the last time you're ever up this way.
Just a piece of heart on the ledge. Very seriously doubt mooglecharm's going to go out of his way to get that. Be tempting if it were a full heart, but as simply a piece, I don't see that happening. And the purveyor extraordinaire of life lessons, King Zora himself, gives us a piece of heart.
If that's not a life lesson, I'm not sure what is.
Well, it's certainly better than getting the single arrow or the single rupee.
Sure. Yeah, and actually, to your point, you're going to have enough quarter pieces of heart thrust upon you from opening chests or paying 500 rupees to a fish that you don't need to go out of your way for that. But a whole heart piece is a whole heart piece, and that is a little bit more tempting.
Interesting here that Alaszun has opted to completely skip Kakariko Village, which is an interesting choice that we know is not good at this point in the game. But that goes back to what you mentioned earlier about taking risks when you feel like you're behind.
Yeah, it very well could be that Kak skip was the play on this. It's not, but still plenty of chances for Alaszun to maybe find a progression item into, who knows, maybe he'll go into Dark World as soon as he finds those mitts.
Well, we got our first fetch quest item right there. There is the mushroom. We'll see what mooglecharm decides to do. Looks like mooglecharm is going to go ahead and check the item on Lumberjack now that they have the boots. It's prudent to do so. And I imagine we'll shortly see a mushroom check since it is just number 2 flute away.
And Alaszun going to the lonely Agana's cave, way out in the distance. This is one that a lot of runners will not check, just even though it's a Sphere 1 check, they will not check it because it's so secluded. But you got to take these risks at this point.
Yep, and Agina's cave, not much of anything. Big 20. And mooglecharm's going to go pick up the old man on the mountain, but like Alaszun, not going to be able to do much more on the mountain. At this point, looks like Eastern Palace probably is the play.
Yeah, I think we've seen just about everything else between the two runners. Sahasrara's closet is, 3 quick items and then another 3 plus a crystal available in Eastern. But we do have that Dark World access, so it could be plenty to find in those areas too.
And obviously the runners may want to wait until they find the mirror so that they can do both Pod and Eastern back to back. Always good to be able to do that. Same with both Desert Palace and Misery Mire. If you have the ability to do those back to back, you want to do it, then saves a significant amount of time. Looks like we're heading into desert area.
Yeah, and actually that knowledge if pod is either a pendant or crystal could change your routing slightly, just because you may decide to rush Eastern or you may decide to hold it off. So would be good to know. But other things we'll get to know is the medallion for Misery Mire, Quake today.
And mooglecharm has already found that, so that's good news for them. We have the shack here. There's the mirror.
And with boots and gloves, no fire source though, you could at least scout out Desert Palace.
Yep.
So exactly what you were just mentioning about using the mirror to combo these dungeons.
Yep, and looks like mooglecharm is going to go ahead on into Desert Palace. Going to check the item on the torch here. As you mentioned, though, without a fire source, it's not possible to complete this dungeon at this point. It is boot locked. He had to get that big key off the torch, so likely this this big key could be just a small key, which I've always, or big chest could just be a small key, which I've always found to be humorous. Yep, there it is, small key in the big chest.
Well, if you have a big key in a small chest, you naturally could have a small key in a big chest.
That's right. See if there's anything else here in Desert. Desert only has 2 unique items in it, and there's one, just a 5 rupee piece. Little bloopy.
And if this is not a fire source, mooglecharm is going to dip out of Desert Palace.
See, one more item to check here in the mini pinball room, and it is a big heart. That is both items for Desert Palace, so he's not going to be coming back here until it's time to collect that crystal.
I think before he's done here, we'll find Checkerboard Cave, and he's got a choice: either explore the Dark World or do Eastern Palace.
All right, so Alaszun, checking the map in Dark World. So we got pendants at Pod and Thieves Town. So
was it Thieves Town or Skullwoods? Because
Skullwoods, thank you.
I didn't. We got our 2 red crystals in Light World. I did not see where the green pendant was.
I did not either. But the point here is that Alaszun is taking a vast divergence from mooglecharm, and this is what we were mentioning earlier. Even though he had that mistake early on, leaving Zelda in escape, a divergence like this could make up some of that time if he finds something like the fire rod in Skull Woods, for example.
So that's huge. It's maybe unlikely he'll do Mothula this early. Fighter Sword and 4 hearts with green mail is not really great, but that's your fire source for Desert Palace. He could easily follow mooglecharm's tracks and finish out for his first crystal.
Right. You mentioned, 4 hearts. However, half magic is a huge assist in that Mothula fight. Alaszun may give it a shot. We will see. We will see. It's a tough decision to make, and you make a very good point. Max, you can get hit twice on Mothula. Alaszun says, nope, I'll come back when I have more life. So certainly not a bad decision there.
But we'll check out Village of Outcasts, and that plus Thieves Town, possibly minus the big chest.
Thieves Town is a pendant. It is the green pendant.
That's where you saw the pendant. Okay.
I told you I saw a pendant. Don't question me. No, I'm kidding.
I will never question you until the end of this seed, maybe.
So at this point, knowing that Thieves is a pendant, do you go in and do the first 4? I think you do, and that's exactly what Alaszun is going to do here. And mooglecharm right behind them, checking Skull Woods.
mooglecharm going towards the middle, which is pretty typical play. You kind of want to start towards the middle and work your way back, but he's going to find that fire rod, and We'll see if he gives it a chance to gives Mothula a chance.
I know if I was running, I would be really tempted to do so, knowing that there's probably a 90% chance that I'm going to die at least 2 or 3 times trying it, but it is pendant, but it just depends on where that second item is. Did we see both items here in Skullwoods?
We saw certainly the fire rod.
Right.
That bloopy you mentioned was on was in Desert Palace. It must be in the back.
Yeah. I'd be tempted, since I was here, to at least give it a shot, but you know, as Chad is pointing out, this is a pendant dungeon, not a crystal dungeon, so the utility is a little bit limited, but yeah, I'd still be tempted. It was like Alaszun picking up Jeremiah here, and oh, Alaszun doesn't have the mirror.
No, it does not have the mirror, which mooglecharm found in Meyer's shed. Alaszun gonna take him on a little world tour.
Our mooglecharm going to check the bumper cave item here. That is just a piece of fart. No way he's going to bother with that, even if he had the cape.
Well, Alaszun doing what he can to cover as much ground in as little time as possible. Here's Hype Cave for 5 quick checks.
Or as we call it in the Crystal Company, Johnny Two Bombs Speakeasy. Credit to TJ Maelstrom. And there is Powder. Very nice. We got a pizza fart. We got another pizza fart. We got 10 arrows and a full heart. Not the hypest hype cave I've ever seen in my life. Meanwhile, Graveyard Ledge, just another piece of heart.
Yeah, the powder is good for his safety. It could lead to progression on the magic bat, but other than that, yeah, kind of lame.
Pretty lame, yeah. That's why we attempt to just refer to it as the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
Sounds appropriate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alaszun going to return Jeremiah here. Alaszun's got to hope this is something like the hammer or the hook shot. And it's not.
Nope, can't buy it with the $20 these days. You know, once he finds that mirror, he could make his way into the magic bat. He does have the powder, but fluting away. Gonna check out Eastern, which we've not seen yet.
And there's the hammer in Thieves Town. mooglecharm finding it there. Wow. Ooh. Moogle making all the right decisions so far in this seed.
Yeah, actually, Alaszun opened up Thieves Town, but he never went in, did he?
Nope.
Oh, geez.
You know, most of the time, even if dependent, many runners. Let me rephrase that. Many runners, not necessarily most of the time, but many runners will at least go check the first 4 items here in Thieves Town, which is exactly what mooglecharm just did, as they mirror out. For just that reason, there's 4 items in there, and could be one has to be the big key to Thieves Town, but you could get up to 3 unique items there in the front, and obviously that paid off huge for mooglecharm.
You know, it's tempting to full clear Thieves Town with it being a green pendant, especially since mooglecharm has not gone all the way to the Eastern Palace area. He could certainly route in, turning in the green pendant with Pod Eastern.
Yeah, and this could be, you know, one of those decisions. It's a time. Obviously, it's a time sink. You're talking about a good 3 minutes, right, or more. So there's that time sink of completing the rest of the dungeon. But if you don't take it now, and let's say, what if that green pendant is something like the ice rod, or the hook shot, or possibly bombos, which might be needed for Turtle Rock, right? All of these things, you know, could be a huge difference and could allow Alaszun to catch up. But we'll have to wait and see.
I think the thing is, you have to be confident in your decisions. Mooglecharm intentionally just left the back of Thiestown, so he's just got to take that and run with it. Consequences almost be damned at that point.
Indeed. And that's one of the things, like indecision many times, the paralysis of indecision can really harm you. But Mooglecharm going to have a much easier time here taking care of Jeremiah, even though it's not going to do much for him. Does have the mirror and will be able to not only return Jeremiah, but also, now that he has the hammer, check hammer pegs and pick up that purple chest. So lots of opportunity here for Mooglecharm as we see Alaszun getting the big key here in Eastern.
Only thing missing is that powder from Hype Cave, and he could have cleared this area.
So far, nothing terribly important in Eastern. So, and Alaszun has the fire rod, making it very easy to navigate this dark room without the lamp. Just light one of those torches, makes it child's play. And that actually, in this version of the logic, the fire rod puts this in logic. However, given the layout of items here in Eastern Palace, the big key was in its vanilla location, which means Alaszun had to not navigate a dark room to do so. Yeah, logically, that lamp was required at this point.
Right. Only the back of Eastern Palace is accessible via the fire rod, or in logic via the fire rod. The east side and the vanilla big key chest is not. Two other rooms in this mode. What is it? Pod Basement and correct. The Dark Cross are both accessible that way.
That is correct. Dark Cross in standard mode, obviously Dark Cross is always accessible, but in open mode, Dark Cross is in logic if you have the fire rod. So Mooglecharm leaving the purple chest here.
Let's also recognize Alaszun had a nice quick kill on Armos for our first boss kill of the game, and he's on the board with one crystal so far.
Yes, it's interesting. We were sitting at 30 minutes, and that's our first crystal. It's a little bit of time, more time than we would expect at this level, but this seed has been throwing us a few curveballs. Mooglecharm going to do the Phantom Chest glitch here. I love this trick. And a book in the lunchbox.
He can check out the Bamos tablet, but he still needs a Master Sword in order to activate it.
Alaszun finding that pesky ice rod in Sahasrah's closet, so that's not going to be cause for us to be doing a hunt later on in the game here. Alaszun routing in the King's Tomb check. We know this is not going to be much. Meanwhile, Mooglecharm probably about to hit up the Hype Cave here. Find the powder and not much else.
You know, finding that hammer, plus the mirror that you found in Meyer Shed, that opens up the mountain. So you could go check out Hera. You could go check out East Death Mountain, do the Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave as well.
What's interesting here is that given that we just found the ice rod in Sahasrah's closet, Turtle Rock's that's in logic.
Yes, unless it's Bamos, that is fully accessible.
Right, we got the cane and we got both rods, which is and you know the mitts and the hammer, that's really all you need for Turtle Rock. And you know, half mad, you know, thank the RN Jesus for half magic at this point, because if you've got to go in with plastic sword for Turtle Rock, whew.
So which one of these runners is gutsy enough to do that move?
I know, it depends, man. Like, all right, so both tablets are bust, as Mooglecharm has just found out. I would definitely do it. If I were Mooglecharm, well, if I were Moogle Charm and had the ice rod, I'd go in there and risk it. He's got 7 hearts, 8 hearts. I'm a lawyer because I can't do math, but you know, as long as the chomps don't kill him a few times. So Moogle Charm is going to set up the bomb version, the hook shotless.
No, I think
No,
he
it wasn't.
thought he might have had the hook shot.
Yeah, I was about to say the hook shotless Harapot. I didn't know that was a thing, and of course, it's not a thing.
So there are many setups, and isn't there a double bomb setup? I'd have to look at that.
I'd have to look that up, but
I don't know
thought
if there is.
It was absolutely required that you had hookshot. You can do diver down without the Cane of Samaria. There's a bomb set up for diver down. I don't know about Harapot. Well, there is a blue potion for Moogle Charm. I'm going to set up the bomb jump here to check big chest. Chat confirming that all setups do require the hook shot. And there's blueberries for Moogle Charm, so that's it for Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's the 2 items. Just head up to the boss and let's explore the rest of Death Mountain.
We already have had, I believe we've already had a PED check in here, correct?
I have not seen it.
No, I'm sorry. They checked both. There's both tablets that were checked. Yeah. So we still have. I mean, look at what dungeons we have that are pendants: Thieves Town, Skull Woods, and Pod, all of which are completely accessible right now. So, and none of which require that hook shot. Just throwing that out there.
Now we know where Ice Rod is. It's in Sahasrarla's closet, which Moogle Charm has not gone to. But I wonder if he'll scout Turtle Rock as he's up on Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain.
Oh, this is a gutsy call here by Alaszun.
Wow.
Ooh. You're talking about, do you want to go into a dungeon with limited equipment? And he's going into Ice Palace with Plastic Sword. However, as we've said multiple times, that half magic certainly helps.
Now, Alaszun has no hammer, though. So this will be a short trip.
That's fair.
It is Quake, and he is opening this. He will need to open it eventually.
I think this is way too early in a seed for a runner to gamble on Ice Rod in Turtle Rock.
Moogle Charm agrees. And no hook shot here, so we've only got the first chest accessible via a bonk, unless Moogle Charm wants to pull out some hovering tactics.
I was having a little bit of trouble setting up Icebreaker here. That left movement has to be a single pixel. Use some menu buffers here. Got it. Nice job there. There's one item for Ice Palace there. It's 50 roops. And Alaszun doesn't have a key here, so unless there's a key in this chest, this sojourn... Oh, well, this sojourn in Ice Palace continues.
He could have gone back and maybe done the bomb jump, but no way to get to the boss without a hammer. Remind me where the hammer was again. Was that Thieves Town?
Correct. First chest in Thieves Town, which Alaszun opened but did not partake. So there's only one more location right now that Alaszun can check. Honestly, I hope Alaszun does not find the big key, because that will keep them here in Ice Palace, and they just need to get out right now. Yeah, okay. And again, I think that may go to what you were talking about earlier, Lumaga, how, Alaszun, after that disastrous escape, might feel like they have to take some significant gambles to catch up here, and that was an example of that. Which, again, if it had worked out, could have been brilliant. But we just knew that knowing what else is going on here, knew that was unlikely.
Yeah, the omniscience of being a commentator. We know what the right plays are to make, but unfortunately, the runners do not know that just yet. Did get a Master Sword here out of Paradox Cave. I believe that was the only item worthwhile up here.
I believe you are correct, and but that is huge. That Master Sword, one of those things that we have to have, and in this particular rule set here, many times once you find Master Sword, you're satisfied that that's all the swords you're going to find. You always plan on having to do Master Sword silverless with this rule set. So once you find the Master Sword, anything else is just a nice bonus.
Last stop on the Dark World Death Mountain tour, Spike Cave. And we got the Cane of Burna, we got half magic. That's enough to get us through.
Absolutely. We're really, really just looking for that hook shot right now. We know the medallions that are necessary for Turtle Rock and Misery Mire, and we have both. So the only thing we need for no mode at this point is that hook shot. We know that the ice rod is sitting in Sahasrah's closet, but once we get that hook shot, we will know where everything our runners need is located.
Yeah, Alaszun, he came in here with the fire rod, which mooglecharm did not. So he's going to finish this one out. And as mooglecharm is heading into Eastern, could be still tied up at 2 in just a very short order here with these 2 dungeons.
Yep.
And now the question is, right, who's going into Mire first? Who's going into Turtle Rock first?
Right.
It's like a game of chicken here. I dare you to do it.
And we've yet to find the lamp, which, obviously neither of our runners need. Right? They're both sufficiently good at this game that they don't ever need the lamp to complete it. But for logic's sake, the logic requires them to have the lamp to complete Eastern. So that lamp has to be sitting around available somewhere. What I wonder if it isn't in pod.
That's a good call. I think we also have enough to get into Swamp. It could be in Swamp.
Yes, we can get into Swamp, but we cannot complete it. And that's one of the worst things to do to a runner in this game, is if the seed decides to drop an item in the dungeon it's found in vanilla.
Alaszun taking 2 of these down in the first cycle. Gets it on the second cycle for a quick Landmo fight.
Good fight. Just a burrito on Landmos, but that will give Alaszun the second crystal here as mooglecharm. As you mentioned, they're about to be tied up 2 crystals to 2 here, but I think mooglecharm in a significantly better position, mainly because of that hammer right now.
Alaszun very close. No, he did get that mirror. He got it out of Mire Shed.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. That hammer out of Thieves Town. I lament that he opened it up and left the Village of Outcasts so quickly.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. It's there are tons of seeds that will never require you to enter a single pendant dungeon. And so the question you ask yourself is, do I even want to go into a pendant dungeon? It looks like Alaszun is going to opt to go into Misery Mire. They can complete it.
Gotta do it.
Yeah. But oh man, I am already not looking forward to plastic sword Vidi. Ooh.
What's his potion count look like?
I believe they only have one bottle, and I think they may have a blue potion.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Actually, Mooglecharm picked up a red potion in Spike Cave. So, well, let's make this one count, Alaszun.
Yeah.
Two items here in Misery Mire. Wonder how much time he's gonna spend. Like if he finds one item and he found the big key immediately.
And, wow.
Wonder how quickly he goes to Vitreous.
Why is it that it is always a God Mire when you have to still full clear it? You can never get a God Mire when you're go moding it. Well, there's another shield. So that's the max shield Alaszun is going to be able to have. Got that red shield going on here. So that's one of those two items you mentioned earlier. Also interesting to note that Alaszun did pick up both a bomb and an arrow upgrade earlier.
That's interesting. Okay.
I mean, it's a good guard, particularly with the arrows, of running out of arrows in GT, depending on how you have to route the game. There are few things worse than running out of arrows in Ganon's Tower.
Been there, done that. Fully agree with you.
As have I.
All right, there's our second item. We are done with Search in Misery Mire.
Absolutely. This is actually not that bad from Alaszun because Misery Mire is not one of those dungeons that generally really changes all that much time-wise between quote-unquote go mode and not. Even though this is a God Mire, he only spent like an additional 30 seconds or so finding those extra items.
And that heart's going to help. He's not got the loadout where Vitreous is going to be anywhere near easy.
No.
He could soften up those small eyeballs with bombs, and with the extra bombs, that'll certainly help.
Yep. Mooglecharm heading right into Ice Palace, and unfortunately for Alaszun, Mooglecharm's going to be able to complete Ice Palace. Alaszun getting the Samaria block, that is the hardest thing to do in the dark here. There is a nifty little trick where you just toss the block from the bottom, but if you don't have it lined up from the beginning, it can be pretty tough.
Yeah, very nice getting through here in the dark. He's still got two more rooms, including this one with the spike and the switch. One more with the bombs and the anti-fairies, but shouldn't have a problem getting through. And he could certainly use the powder to get a refill here. Yeah,
Mooglecharm showing that when you don't have either Tempered Sword or the hook shot, pen gators are a pain in the patootie. Mooglecharm also going to set up the icebreaker trick here. And Al, you got this. You got this. Vidi with low percent equipment is one of the most stressful boss fights in the game.
He's covering a lot of these eyeballs with those bombs. So
yeah, fantastic
this
job.
This is really good work.
Yeah, this is impressive. Oh man, I think that one bomb hit all but one at the same time. Alaszun definitely thankful for those bomb upgrades.
Very low on the bombs here. Just gonna pull out the arrows, and that arrow upgrade is also gonna help. He weakened those eyeballs and just got to plug maybe one or two arrows in each of these now.
This is a really nice Vidi fight for low percent.
Yeah, just watch that lightning, and he's got plenty of arrows here to finish out the big one.
Yeah,
very impressive low percentage fight for Alaszun.
Yeah, nicely done. But unfortunately, Misery Mire did not produce any kind of progression, so Alaszun's going to have to run around a little bit more and find more items here. Like that should be the textbook. This is how you fight Vidi when you don't have tempered or the cape, or very nicely done.
Or really anything.
Yeah.
So he's done with that. He's back up on the mountain. Don't think he's explored Dark Death Mountain yet, and he can finish out Hera as well. Oh, wait, actually, no. I'm sorry. He doesn't have the hammer. Skip that in Thieves Town, and no hook shot, so he can't get over to the east.
Yeah, and can't get into Turtle Rock either. There's a very high likelihood that hook shot is sitting in Turtle Rock as well.
We've also got the back of Thieves Town to worry about.
Yep. I would be almost willing to put money that the hook shot is sitting in Turtle Rock.
Well, we had one difficult fight. We've got another one here with Cold Stare, Green Mail with Master Sword, although mooglecharm probably has the health to take on Cold Stare with very little issue.
And also that half magic is going to really help here, because that fire rod. Yeah, there you go, mooglecharm. The fire rod does gold sword damage there. Beautiful.
Nice and quick.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful Cold Stare fight there. Got at least 2 or 3 triple hits with a single fire rod shot. That was a thing of beauty.
You know, aside from that hammer, which I suspect Alaszun will probably go into Thieves Town soon. Aside from that hammer, this is really close, actually.
Agreed. It's closer than it has any right to be at this point, given the way this has proceeded so far, which is really a credit to Alaszun, because I mean, if that Vitreous fight didn't prove it to you, their execution has been on point. Other than forgetting Zelda, of course.
Yeah, costly mistake, but certainly not the end for him.
Oh. So I wonder if Alaszun finds that hammer, goes back into Thieves Town and finds that hammer. You got to imagine that their next stop would likely be Swamp, which, without the hook shot, maybe? Or do you go back up the mountain to do Turtle Rock, since you can full clear it?
So you've got to think density. You've got Swamp and Pod both down here at the sea level of Hyrule. That's a lot of chests you can look for the hook shot. Turtle Rock is fully clearable though, so you got two minds here thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not playing this seed.
So Alaszun finishing out some flipper checks. Wonder if, since Thieves Town is a pendant, he really does not want to spend any time in dungeons he feels he has no business being in.
Yeah, that could go back to not wanting to dip into those pendant dungeons because you feel behind already, Now, this is a check we haven't seen. It's Sick Kid. That Sick Kid just hands out some bombs.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. For all the bottles we've seen, nobody's done Sick Kid yet. But back into the Dark World, Alaszun will go. I would suspect he's got Well, he's done Skull Woods, the front part of it. So I would suspect he's here for Thieves Town.
Definitely going the right way for it. Well, was going the right way for it. Oh, Alaszun hasn't done purple chest.
Purple chest and the magic bat. Yeah, so here he goes with the mirror. 2 ways to get here. Of course, you can mirror into the spot for the well, or you can use the hammer from the light world.
And we will see. We got the magic bat. And that hookshot can be anywhere. And we've got 50 roops. Not helpful. So mooglecharm opting to do some dashes with Cane of Burna. That half magic certainly helping here. And just hitting everything with each dash. This is an interesting strat too.
Yeah, this is a good one. If, say, you don't have enough firepower, like maybe a tempered sword, or you don't have cape to cheese the fight, at least you can use the invincibility and just kind of pummel your way through.
Yeah, we're getting some frustration slashes from Alaszun there. I hope they don't get baited by that book. I mean, obviously, without a Master Sword, they can't activate the tablets, but...
Well, he hard skipped on Balmo's tablet.
All right, Alaszun is going to go into Skull Woods. Now, this is still a possibility, but I believe we only have one item left. Could either be on Moth or in the area before Moth. So we'll see. We'll see what's here. I mean, it's all going to come down to right now where that hook shot is. Because in this seed, even hovering won't save you because Swamp Palace is a crystal. You cannot hover Swamp.
Yeah, I believe we found a fire rod in here earlier. So this is just a natural progression going into the back here and seeing what's the last item. And it shouldn't be too hard for Alaszun, right? He's taken care of some of the more difficult parts of the game on low percent, and he's even more equipped here for Mothula.
Yeah, a little bit of a graphical glitch there. The game showed that left torch was not lit, but yet the shutter opened anyway. I have not seen that before.
Huh.
So lots of fire rod shots here. It does take 8 fire rod shots to bring down the Moth. So, and that was all he had going in. So now we're going to have to see some plastic sword spins. This, oh god, we know Alaszun can do it, but a single hit from the Moth now will kill him. Oof.
Whoa, he's got a blue potion still, so
yeah,
here
there
comes
we
the
go.
fire out again.
Yeah.
Goodness.
He's stressing me out. It's stressing me out. I had forgotten that they had just 10 arrows on Moth, so the sojourn into Skull Woods turns out to be a bust, unless, of course, we've got a hook shot on that pedestal, which Alaszun does have the mirror out right now, so they may be considering that ped check.
Yeah, there's no better time to check it, and you got to check it out, especially since it's the last item you got. Got to get only 10 arrows up on the pedestal today.
All right, so the ped is dead. So where does Alaszun go from here? Man, I thought that was going to be a mirror bonk. It wasn't. So we know where Alaszun needs to go, and it's back into, or not back, but into Thieves Town, which they opened up earlier. And honestly, at this point, this could be important too, because Alaszun's going the wrong way. Oh. I don't believe Alaszun has checked Graveyard Ledge yet, so we know this is going to be nothing.
Yeah, he's got a couple of checks that he's retreading mooglecharm on. He's got to go. You're right, to get that hammer out of Thieves Town. And once he's starting to run out of locations here, he could go to the back. We still don't know where that hookshot is. If something's in the back of Thieves Town.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is that once Alaszun goes in there, particularly because of all of the checks that they have done at this point, that is even more of an impetus for them to go ahead and complete Thieves Town, and we know that is where that all-important hook shot could be. Could also be in Pod.
It could be in the Pyramid Fairy. Mooglecharm has the 5-6 crystals from Hera and Desert. Here's the big bomb, and with that, we'll check out Pyramid Ledge, and it could be a play for Pod after that.
And Alaszun going to head up to Catfish. I don't believe anybody's checked it yet this seed, so this could be interesting as well.
Yeah, one of those locations that runners will, either rush or delay, like hard delay, just because it's so out of the way here. Today it's a sword, so that's could be someone's tempered sword, could be Mooglecharm's tempered sword if he heads over there.
Yeah, if it's a location a lot of people don't like to check. Let's see what we find here. We find a red meringue and 5 rupees. Mooglecharm going to save and quit here, so it's entirely possible that that Mooglecharm will stay with Master Sword, and it's also highly likely that Alaszun will end up with Tempered.
So we had one early, I believe, in CAC. We saw just one on Catfish a moment ago. Where was Mooglecharm's second one?
I cannot remember for the life of me, to be honest with you. But I seem to remember it being like in a location that Alaszun's not going to miss. Oh, it's a Paradox Cave.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you. Thank you, Tracker, for keeping us honest yet again. All right, so Alaszun heading over to the pod. This could be the play. I still am believing that hookshot is hiding out in Turtle Rock, which is exactly where it looks like Mooglecharm is going right now.
Yeah, it's been open for a while, logically, right? We found Ice Rod very early in Sahasrala's closet, found enough to get up to Turtle Rock and in through Turtle Rock, even with Fighter Sword. So, very good chance something could be here. Not necessarily the hookshot, but something.
So, I mean, as we watch this objectively, the hookshot really needs to be here in pod for Alaszun to realistically have a shot here. Because if it's in Turtle Rock, this one pretty much over.
Well, both very dense dungeons, so not a bad play either way for either one of them. Just hope something works out for one of these runners. Either you find the hookshot in pod, or maybe you find the hookshot along the way from Mooglecharm. But that's all we need, really. Plus Alaszun's hammer.
There it is. There's the hookshot.
Wow. Okay, so this just turned on its head. Whereas Alaszun lost considerable time at the beginning, has a huge advantage on mooglecharm by going to pod and finding that key item. That's now no mode for us. And
It
soon to be
is.
go mode as soon as he picks up his hammer in the first chest of Thief's Town.
Now Alaszun going to head over to Paradox Cave, where won't find any progression, but will find a nice, tasty, flaming hot Cheeto.
Yeah, that sword advantage is going to be absolutely huge. That step up from master to tempered, really accelerates how you can get through some bosses.
Yep. Especially the Ganon fight. But now this will all come down to after these checks here on the mountain. When will Alaszun dip into the front of Thieves Town? Because fortunately, Alaszun can't do much else on the mountain without the hammer right now. So here's the Cheeto.
Imagine if he had done Thieves Town when he opened it. And
man.
yeah, he'd be in go mode, of course. He could do Turtle Rock as soon as he gets out of here. But I'm sure the next step for him is going to be Dark Death Mountain, including the rest of Hookshot Cave we've not seen.
Yeah, the big question right now is, where is that lamp? Because it's logically required.
That's true. And I think the big places we haven't seen are Back of Thieves, the rest of Palace of Darkness, and all of Swamp Palace. All of which could easily have it by now. And Mimic Cave, I suppose it could be up here.
Yeah, it absolutely could. That would be hilarious. Nope. Again, as I said before, none of our runners need that lamp, but
it's optional.
Let's see what the rest of Hookshot Cave has for us. There's not really much helpful that could really be here.
Well, that was either a silver arrow for that big that 20 rupees, or it could have been an armor upgrade, or it could have been that fourth sword.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was helpful, we won't see it.
That's right. So if anyone doesn't know, because we have the limited item pool here in this tournament, so the logic will still place all 4 swords. Even though the max you can get is tempered sword, the logic will actually place all 4. And so depending on the order in which you find them, once you found the first 3, the 4th will turn into a green rupee with a 20 on it. So you know, hey, this was something that was actually taken out of the pool by the rule set. And hello to everyone from SpeedGaming 3, all 201 of you. Welcome. This is SpeedGaming 1, the OG, the mothership. We are here with more Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Tournament 2021 action. mooglecharm versus Alaszun. This has turned into a nail-biter of a race here. And that also reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're seeing here, and how can you not, these runners are putting in hard work for your entertainment. Why don't you consider giving both of them a follow here on Twitch? And for more of this exciting tournament action, worldwide tournament action, might I add, give the Speed Gaming family of channels a follow here on Twitch as well. There is Alaszun's hammer. Alaszun is in the driver's seat. Ladies and gentlemen, Alaszun is in go mode.
What a change from the first 5 minutes of this seed. So just to recap for our raiders, Alaszun lost considerable time in escape, missing Zelda and going all the way to the throne room without her. So he had to do a double escape. after that, he took many gambles in where he was headed, wound up just missing that hammer until you just saw it, found the hook shot out of Palace of Darkness, which is what Moogle Charm is looking for, and has really turned this seed around.
You know, as we said before, you know, it's like this, we were concerned because these runners were so close in the qualifiers in their scores. I think you said, Lubaga, they were like the 2 closest in the entire bracket. Is that correct?
I think I saw one more that may have been a few seeds closer, but yeah, between the second and third quartile, I think these two are among the closest.
Yeah, and so when that happens at the beginning of the race, when you know that these runners are so close in skill together, your first thought is, man, that extra like 5.5 minutes from escape was going to be determinative. And like we said, it's going to take some significant routing choices to make it up. Well, that's exactly what Alaszun has done here, and this is impressive.
And he doesn't have to waste much time. He, go straight back to Argus. He's already scouted Ice Palace. Not much to get there anyway. Just go straight to the boss. And then it's on to Ganon's Tower. And I'm sure he'll make, quick work of that, having a sword advantage over Moogle Charm too.
Yeah. Alaszun will still have to take care of Turtle Rock, but I mean, he can just power here through Swamp. I'm relatively certain Alaszun knows the diver down trick, so that's going to save some significant time as well. We got to see what Moogle Charm decides to do after defeating Trinex here. As chat was mentioning earlier, does Moogle Charm attempt a hookshotless Swamp, hoping that the hookshot is in Swamp, or does Moogle Charm dip Pod, which we know is the correct answer? Neither of them are objectively wrong answers at this point. There's
a lamp. We were looking for that the whole time.
Yeah.
I guess. So as you were saying, right, where does he go? With just one crystal left, I could see him chancing a hookless Swamp Palace. Hoping to find that hook shot.
Unfortunately, we know that he won't, but this is going to be huge right here, because if Moogle Charm makes the right choice here and picks Pod, like you mentioned, he's only got one crystal to do, and Alaszun has to finish Swamp here, has to finish Ice, and do Turtle Rock. So it's still possible if he makes the right call, which it doesn't look like he's doing. But if he had made the right call there, he still had the opportunity to make up some time. But it looks like Moogle Charm's heading over to Skull Woods, which we know is not the right answer.
Yeah, one item left on Mothula, but of course it's not going to be that hook shot. It's not a bad play, it's just the wrong play.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's kind of the thing at this point. There are no real indicators at this point of where that hook shot could or should be, because there's no limiting factor on it right now. It could almost literally be anywhere as far as Moogle Charm knows. So really, there aren't any objectively wrong answers at this point.
Yeah, anything is fair game at this point. Obviously, hookshot locks significant portion of things you can do, specifically in Swamp Palace. But Moogle Charm, also checking the pedestal, finds out that it's 10 arrows. Disappointed or relieved, I'm not sure. But back into Skull Woods, I guess.
Yep. Certainly going to go take care of Mothula. And Alaszun going to have a much easier time taking care of Pen Gators in this other room here with the Cheeto sword. Very nice. And Alaszun not hitting the crystal switch.
So he's found the big key, I thought.
Yeah.
So I think he's
Okay.
okay here. Still gonna pick up this and maybe the chest. Okay. Oh no, there's the big key. Okay.
Oh, there's the big key.
Yeah, so he doesn't think need to hit that anyway. He can just walk right in. He's got the small keys to go straight to the boss. And
So
he's on a mission.
like,
Look at how quickly he's just dashing through these rooms.
Well, I mean, you've got to believe that Alaszun thinks that they're far behind at this point, especially after how long it took to find the hammer and that mistake with Zelda in the beginning. They've got to feel that they're behind right now, and they, by all rights, should be, but for this hookshot location. This has been a fantastic race to call and commentate particularly because of the come from behind Alaszun has done here.
Yeah, you always love to see these kinds of things. You hate to see the first part of it, but the comeback is where the action is. And he gets all three with one fire rod shot at the end.
Alaszun has had some just amazing boss kills, like his Vidi kill and then the cold stare kill. Wow.
On a mission. All that's left is Turtle Rock, and he's got one stop left to the tower. mooglecharm still has to head into Pod to find the hookshot in the vanilla big key chest.
Yep, and unfortunately that's not going to happen because mooglecharm is going to go and complete Thieves Town right now. Going to turn in that green pendant and is going to be extremely disappointed. But the nice thing about that is, though, as soon as they turn in the green pendant, they're going to go right into Pod and find their hook shot. But it's probably going to be too little too late at this point.
I don't necessarily know about that. Alaszun is definitely in the driver's seat, but the Swamp Palace, when you go moded, it's very quick, right? Much quicker than having to explore the whole thing. Turtle Rock, not a huge amount of routing choices you can make. I suppose the only real difference you can do is skip the big key chest to chance that that's not a small key.
Yep. But by the time mooglecharm is done and turns in that green pendant, Alaszun's going to be more than halfway through Turtle Rock.
True.
And also, don't forget, unless there's one sitting in GT, mooglecharm is almost certainly going to be doing Master Sword Ganon. And Alaszun is going to have that flaming Cheeto.
Yeah, both going to have to do Silverless here, being in a hard mode tournament. No problem. Just going to take a lot longer with the Master Sword. And Alaszun actually going to save a little time here. Since he has the hookshot, he can take the short route here. mooglecharm had to go the long way, I think the intended way to do this. Yeah, mooglecharm going for the full clear. Gotta find that hookshot, which is not here.
Nope. Again, though, as we said earlier, that there's nothing objectively wrong about searching for it here in Thieves Town. It just happens to be the wrong choice this seed.
Yeah, with every chest, you just hope. Is this it? Is this it?
We'll see if mooglecharm gets the scripted fight here for blind. I imagine that they will. Just the slightest bit messed up, but still perfect.
Yeah, one more check for him. I suspect a flute to 5 and turn in this green pendant along with that pod check. And Alaszun's routing, was very, very fast to that vanilla big key chest. He didn't do too much of Turtle Rock or Palace of Darkness. Wonder how much Moogle Charm will do before he decides to do vanilla big key.
Alaszun having a little bit of trouble there with that with those switch blocks, but it's all been remedied.
What a story for this seed.
Absolutely. Again, I have found myself lately when I play, assuming that the match is over when it might not be. Right? I just assume that, I made this mistake. It took me forever to find this one particular item, and then I assume that means that I had to have lost the race. But as this race shows you, that's not always true.
You play until you see someone else finish.
That's right. It. So Alaszun heading over to Laser Bridge here. Moogle Charm has yet to find that hook shot. I mean, Ganon's tower routing could become a factor, but I don't see it being sufficient at this point.
I think only if, if Alaszun takes a hard stance on maybe left and it's over in Hope Room, right? That's where I could see it playing a factor.
Okay, so Moogle Charm's about to get the hook shot. Alaszun's got to be a little careful here. Running down to 4 hearts. One hit from Trinex will knock out 4 hearts. So,
well, there's powder, right? That powder's come in super handy.
Best safety item in the game.
Sure. All right, last boss. Not too much of a problem with the sword. At this configuration, you hit the rod, hit the head 3 times, hit the rod, hit the head twice with the sword.
And that's Alaszun showing the big difference that Tempered Sword makes in this fight. Moogle Charm had a little bit tougher fight because of that Master Sword. Oh no!
And he did not take the safety door. He found the key on Laser Bridge and left. So,
oh god, Alaszun, I so apologize for that commentator's curse. I mentioned it. I said I was worried about that health. Oh man. Yep, this could change things. This is significant because it's gonna take Alaszun a good minute and a half just to get back to Trinex.
And Moogle Charm's still exploring for things. Probably a last sword, I would guess.
I would imagine so. I mean, you don't want to have to do Master Sword Silverless Ganon if you can avoid it. And having the Master Sword doesn't just double the time that it takes for Ganon. It's significantly more than double the amount of time. So if you can find that Tempered Sword, it's worth making a couple of extra checks to find the Tempered.
Yeah, things that are right in your way. So the waterfall chest here, the two in the flooded area, those are going to be easy ones to grab, but you wouldn't go out of your way for something.
Right. Alaszun heading back down yet, or back down now.
Have a chance to see simultaneous boss fights at the pace they're both going.
Yeah.
And then they're on to Ganon's Tower. And everybody in chat, prep your numbers because we got a game after this.
There's mooglecharm's lamp. Yeah, this could come down to GT routing. Oh man.
Well, GT routing and the sword difference.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, round 2. Let's hope this goes a little bit easier for Alaszun for his sake.
Oof, man. Alaszun, you're making me nervous, man. You just barely dodged that headshot. Oh, God. This old man can't take this. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower in which the big key could possibly be. In just a moment, my co-commentator will start the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. Put your numbers in the chat. If you win, you will win real internet points. Yes.
An E high five or something like that.
Yes. Here we are. Alaszun is going to open up GT at about 125.30. He'll be in, and this has been a more difficult seed. Not quite a jet seed. We're going to be looking at about close to a 140 here, depending on GT routing, and tough seed. And it is by no means over yet.
Last chance to get your numbers in. As soon as Alaszun enters on the restream, we will close the game. All right. Just number 1 and 2, just small keys.
mooglecharm about to head up the mountain here. Another small key. And so we have 4 small keys already. I would be tempted to Dark Magician here, or semi-Dark Magician if I was Alaszun at this point. If it's not here in this, I would probably mirror out and go right side. Given all of those keys.
4, 5, 6, and 7, not yielding that big key. He's not mirroring to go to the right. He's going to finish out left. So if it's on the right and mooglecharm heads to the right, there's a big chance for mooglecharm to close this gap.
Absolutely. There's number 8, still nothing here. I love that trick. Of
so clean.
Yeah, very clean. I've never attempted it myself, but okay. So we're about to find out if that green 20 we found in here was a third sword. It was not. So mooglecharm not going to find another sword here in Hookshot Cave. So Alaszun still with the advantage here. But we will see what happens when mooglecharm gets into GT. If mooglecharm goes full right, and that's where the big key is, we could have a hell of a race on our hands.
We got 9 was nothing, 10, 11 nothing, 12, and 13. It is 13.
Lucky number 13. Your co-commentator might have guessed that. However, I believe somebody in the chat got it first.
So it looks like Buzz125, guest number 13. So congratulations. Enjoy your fake points.
So there we have it. Alaszun climbing up the tower here. Let's see what mooglecharm decides to do. You know, mooglecharm needs to go left, but he's going to stay right. That is, barring a miracle, that's your game, folks. I'm not gonna sit here and try to generate hype here when statistically this one is pretty much over. But what a race to watch!
Absolutely, twists and turns from the get-go. Missing Zelda, doing some very bold boss fights early on,
Yeah,
and then coming back to get a rather commanding lead in Ganon's tower for Alaszun.
oh, there's the Bombos Battalion.
And despite all that, all the early game follies, he's not seen a dot done. So he is still going very hard through the gauntlet.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, when you think you're behind, you know, Alaszun has to have thought he's been behind this whole race, right? And so when you finally you're going through Ganon's tower, and like you just said, you look at, I have not seen a dot done. I haven't seen a dot done. Oh my God, can I possibly win this? Like that, your heart just starts skipping a beat.
A lot of racers might just close, you know, minimize racetime.gg. I know that I hide it with the tracker, so I only have the option to see the button and the timer, right?
Yeah.
It kind of calms you a little bit. You don't have that pressure, but at the same time, you're thinking with every move you make, is my opponent ahead or behind?
Or if you use the live split integration, it has an option to hide all results, so you don't see anything. Yeah, Alaszun is getting a little low on health here, as Chad is pointing out. Alaszun does have another potion, if I'm remembering correctly.
He might. I thought he used one. We'll have to see. He's got the powder, so he'll get a magic refill here and can get a health refill pretty soon after this.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as he doesn't take a hit, because he does have, like we said before, the best safety item in the game. He's got that powder, and there's an anti-fairy and a bunny beam in the next room. That will be more than enough to give him full health. Man, he was cutting it close there as mooglecharm. Oh, mooglecharm does get tempered sword. So there was a tempered sword there in Rando room.
Yep, we did see that big 20 on Alaszun's side, so sword difference not going to make any impact here, but you know, he's a whole Ganon's tower ahead at this point.
Pretty much, he's the entire climb ahead. Alaszun not even bothering with Moldorm 2 chest, because there's absolutely nothing more he could get here other than maybe one heart.
Big 20 sounds tempting, though.
Oh, yeah.
No, let's see how he does against Aga 2. 6 hits from the energy balls, and then on to Ganon.
Okay, chat bringing up a fantastic point. Could have been the cape, and that looked like a double. There's a low probability that could have been a triple, but that's certainly a double. So we got at least 2 and 2.
Maybe 4, maybe 5.
Oh, not good there.
Yeah, that first one, certainly a double, but still, nice, quick Aga kill.
Going in has 12 hearts available. Ganon hugs do 8 damage. I very seriously doubt Alaszun will take a hug from Ganon, although it's not outside the realm of possibility. But those fire bats, those fire bats can be painful, although they don't do as much damage as hugs.
No, the thing for Alaszun in his mind is, can I get the 1 and 1, right? Can I get the 1 cycle first phase, 1 cycle in the second phase, which is possible with a tempered sword, free with a gold sword, but you won't see that in this tournament.
Was that enough? It was not. So it does not get a good alignment for the Firebat phase here. Opting to use spins.
He's got to be careful here.
Yeah. Then just, there you go. He's got to be careful of his magic here, although he does have the lamp, so gonna have to get that torch glitch. Actually, it doesn't have to if he has the lamp. He can be nice and slow with the lamp with half magic, but yeah, that was very, very close. Alaszun cannot afford to take a single hit here.
Yeah, if he does, it's still a race. Doing well so far. One more hit in phase 3.
Yep. I did not find the arrows on Planet Zebes. This is not the combat randomizer. Torch glitch activated. And here we go. Now, oh, God.
Oh, there's a hit. Oh, no.
Alaszun opting to use the fire rod. I don't know about that at this point.
He has to be on point with every triple here to take this.
I might consider, well, I say I would consider using the lamp and taking it more slowly, but Alaszun probably thinks he has seconds to spare, so
yeah, he's doing everything he has to do, just playing aggressive, going for the triples, and I think he's down to his last one or two.
I think so as well. Yeah, he's gonna have plenty of magic. I just get worried. Oh my God, the fire, that last fire bat before he killed Ganon. Oh my gosh, I don't think he had a pixel to spare.
Not a one.
Gee,
doesn't matter. He crosses the bridge first with an official time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, 39 seconds, taking game 1 of this best of 3 series. GG Alaszun.
Oh man, way to give a body a heart attack. We are joined by Alaszun. Alaszun, GG.
Life.
I just want to hear you speak on this seed. I don't want to ask any questions. Just tell me your thoughts.
Sure. So I streamed a blue screen for the first minute and a half of the seed, and I realized that all of a sudden I just start freaking out internally, and so my brain is just gone during escape the entire time I'm there, and I'm sort of walking up and I'm like, something's wrong with something's wrong here, and I'm looking like, oh, I forgot the key off the guard. So I turn around and kill the guard, and he doesn't drop the key, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just dumb. Let's go go through escape. And I go to push the stupid thing, and that's when I realized Zelda wasn't there. But at that point, I'm like, dear God, I'm 5 minutes behind coming out of escape. Moogle's a really good player. If I come out of this and I play normally, because I'm usually a relatively calm, measured player, and don't do much in the way of actual gambling and tend to be very, very mathematically oriented, but I'm like, you know what? If I do that, I'm just gonna lose. I need to make up this time somehow.
Yeah, we did see you making a lot of bold plays. That very early Vitreous fight, that Meyer dip. I don't think I've seen a low percent Meyer dip like that in a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly good feeling, but it was one of those things you know what, Hammer could easily be here. I went into Ice Palace basically because I was already there, since I just wanted to buy the Bomb and Arrow upgrade for Vitreous. Since I knew if Hammer was on Vitreous or something, that's something that can easily put people off and make them not want to go for it. But instead I just decided, hey, you know what, I basically said I need to claw back 4 minutes of time somewhere in this seed, at least.
Yeah, that was what was interesting is because you opened Thieves Town but didn't go in there.
Yeah, I
And
was just using the little boost to go downward.
sure,
Um,
sure. But Moogle Charm got the hammer very early. And for a very long time, it did not look good for you because Moogle Charm, like I said, got that hammer so early. Oh man, Moogle Charm does not get the torch glitch on Ganon. Ooh.
so yeah, no, and that was one of those things. Like, and so I kind of planted my flag on Thieves Town and I said, you know what? This is the thing that has nothing. This is what I need to have happen for me to be able to win the seed. Which, by the way, things like this are actually why I really like 1v1s and find 1v1s really, really interesting. But, and so I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to avoid Thieves and do everything. And I almost did Pod as like my first play and instead passed on it way, way longer than I maybe should have. And so I turned around, I'm like, all right, well, I find that hook shot, and I'm like, okay, well, cool, hammer's just probably on the mountain, let's just go. I'm probably dead anyway, whatever. Like, maybe Moogle Charm last location's that hook shot, but I'll have the hammer before then, he won't have done the ice dip. And then I get to the mountain, and I realize that if I'm actually being smart about this and listening and going, hey, what is my best chance of winning this seed? I want that hammer to be in Thieves Town then. Because it locks nothing. And I can see and I can in my mind's eye basically imagine how Moogle would have played the seed if he got that hammer early, and it almost certainly ends up with going to swamp like dead last, doing every single crystal dungeon, getting to go mode absolutely nothing. And so as soon as I got off of Death Mountain, I'm just like, I'm booking it straight to Thieves Town, just hoping my hammer is sitting here, because that is such a good position for me.
And so Moogle Charm has finished in an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 53 seconds. Difference between the two of I can't do math.
That's about 4 minutes and 14 seconds.
A fantastic race to watch and commentate, especially the after that escape for you, Alaszun. Just and then that when you found that hook shot in Pod, that was just amazing. For this, especially for this difficult seed, this seed would mess with your head. I'm very glad I didn't have to play it.
But I am very glad that I got to watch and call this. This was amazing to see you crawl back from the early kind of missteps. And both of you hit go mode within about, I don't know, a minute or maybe 45 seconds of, or not go mode, 7 crystals about 45 seconds apart from each other.
But I'm sitting there on the mountain.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And also Moogle went right to get that, to try and find the key. You went full left.
Yeah, that probably didn't, that would have been really close. It was on the right side. Wow.
Yeah, and you got your tempered sword at Catfish, and Moogle Charm did not get tempered until GT. So that 20 that you found in Rando Room right before you found the big key was a sword.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing out like the worst scenarios in my head. When I got that sword off Catfish, I'm like, should I just leave and go to Bombo's tablet? Like, this is a play no one. I'm like, you know what? No, Pendant Pod sucks. Like, there's a chance this gets put off. I'm gonna head over there anyway. Yeah, really, really weird seed and really weird position to be in.
Yeah, like I said, glad I didn't have to play it.
I'm not really used to feeling 5 minutes behind and exiting out of escape. And so I kind of had to do a little bit of improvisation on how I wanted to play the seed. But I mean, I don't care if I lose by 30 seconds or lose by 25 minutes. Like, a win is a win and a loss is a loss, and that was the only thing I was going to go for at that point.
Absolutely.
So, do crazy stuff. Lace up my big shoes, put on my big nose, get that big fuzzy wig, and step out onto the stage for the circus.
Honk, honk. So we've got at least one more game here. Have you and Moogle Charm decided on when game 2 is going to be?
Yeah, we're playing same time tomorrow night. And if there's a game 3, we're playing the same time the night after that.
Well, I hope that your other 1 or 2 races that you have left will be as exciting as this one. This was a real pleasure to commentate. Very very nicely done, particularly on your part there with the come from behind. I don't think you'll disagree with me that was a come from behind, but it was a
No, I knew the entire time I'm sitting here way behind, and I need to find something out of the sequence for anything to go right for me in this.
But just like I said, you had a couple phenomenal boss fights. Not only Vitreous, but also your Cold Stare fight was fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, again, I'd like to go ahead and remind you that if you enjoyed what you saw here, and how could you not have, remember to give these runners a follow here on Twitch. As I say all the time, they are putting in hard work for your entertainment, and they deserve your eyeballs. And of course, shout outs to our tracker tonight, Link Force, because that is, and I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it every time I do commentary, for the viewer experience, I believe that the tracker is the most important aspect of the viewer experience. Because of the nature of the randomizer, it's not like you're watching NMG where you know what item they have based on what dungeon they're in. Right? This is that visual feedback of seeing the items on the tracker are probably the most important thing for the viewing experience. So Link Force, thank you for your efforts there, tracking and doing it well and up to date. That just adds so much to the broadcast and keeps us commentators honest, like I said before. I'll turn this over to my co-commentator and Alaszun for a couple final words here in a minute, but we'd like to remind you that coming up in about 13 minutes from now, we have yet another fantastic race coming for you. Apathy Duck versus Wall Kicks. I'm going to have to say I'm a little bit partial to Wall Kicks, being a fellow Crystal Company member, but that's why I'm not commentating the race. I couldn't possibly be fair and balanced there. But hope you guys stay tuned to watch that. I have been Phantom Ryu. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, give the final words here to Lumaga and Alaszun. Thanks so much, Alaszun, for that fantastic race. Lumaga, great time doing commentary with you. But this is Phantom Ryu signing off for the night. And I hope y'all stay tuned here to SpeedGaming for more fantastic Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament 2021 action. Bye for now, everybody.
I think you've about said it all, Phantom Ryu. Thanks a lot for your co-coms, and be sure to check the schedule for all of the Link to the Past Randomizer restreams. Link is in the chat, and that's about all we have. I have nothing else for Alaszun. I don't think I have anything else to ask here, and we got to get set up for the next race. So everyone stick around. Enjoy. Good night.
Love you, Wall Kicks.